30 Woodstock photos kept under wraps. Discover the Untold. Imagine 500,000 people gathering for 3 days of peace, love, and music. That was the promise of Woodstock, a festival that became a defining moment of the 1960s. But behind the iconic performances and the legendary crowds, there were untold stories and hidden moments. Join us as we uncover these newly revealed images and explore the real Woodstock, warts and all. Before we unveil those incredible hidden photos, let's set the stage and talk about what made Woodstock so legendary. The birth of Woodstock. Imagine the summer of '69. 500,000 young people, decked out in tie-dye and bell-bottoms, their hair flowing free, all heading to a farm in upstate New York. That, my friends, was the scene at Woodstock, a 3-day music festival that would shake up the world and become a legendary symbol of peace, love, and rock and roll. But how did this incredible gathering come to be? Well, it all started with 4 guys: John Roberts, Joel Rosenman, Artie Kornfeld, and Michael Lang. These young entrepreneurs, all in their 20s, had a vision. They saw the changing music scene, the new technology, and the growing counterculture movement, and they knew something big was brewing. Now, these weren't just some random dudes. They had serious credentials. Michael Lang had already organized a successful music festival in Miami. Artie Kornfeld was a whiz kid, the youngest vice president ever at Capitol Records. And Roberts and Rosenman were savvy businessmen from the heart of New York City. These 4 music lovers joined forces and created a company called Woodstock Ventures. Their mission? To put on the biggest, most epic music festival the world had ever seen. The first step? Get some bands on board? Landing Creedence Clearwater Revival, a huge rock band at the time, was a major victory. It gave them the credibility they needed to attract other big names. Soon, a stellar lineup was taking shape. But finding a place to hold this massive event proved tricky. They initially planned to have it in a small town called Wallkill, New York, but the locals got cold feet. Imagine that, a town turning down Woodstock. They were worried about the influx of thousands of hippies, especially during a time of anti-war protests and social upheaval. With just a month to go, the festival was in jeopardy. But then, a hero emerged. Max Yasgur, a dairy farmer with a big heart and an even bigger field. He agreed to let them use part of his farm in Bethel, New York, a beautiful spot nestled in the Catskill Mountains. And as it turned out, Yasgur's farm was the perfect setting for the magic that was about to unfold. Woodstock and its controversies. Okay, so we've got the stage set. An amazing lineup, a beautiful location, and 500,000 young people ready to rock and roll. But behind the scenes, things were getting a little crazy. You see, organizing a massive event like Woodstock is like trying to herd cats, especially when those cats are groovy, free-spirited hippies. Logistical nightmares started popping up left and right. Ticket booths weren't finished, entrances were still under construction, and fences meant to keep things organized? Well, let's just say they weren't exactly doing their job. People were arriving in droves, way before everything was ready. Backstage areas for the musicians, food stalls, even places for people to escape the sun. None of it was quite ready when the music was supposed to start. Looking back, Michael Lang, one of the organizers, admitted they might have underestimated the whole getting things built part of the festival. But in their defense, they were laser-focused on what they thought really mattered. Great music, good vibes, and enough food to feed a small army. But with the gates practically overrun and no way to collect tickets from everyone, they had to make a tough call, and it was a decision that would cost them a fortune. They decided to make Woodstock a free concert. Can you believe it? Talk about a financial gamble. They did lose a lot of money, but they eventually made some of it back with a documentary film about the festival. The film was so good, it even won an Oscar. But beyond the money, Woodstock '69 became something much bigger. It wasn't just a concert, it was a cultural phenomenon. It captured the spirit of a generation and became a symbol of peace, love, and the power of music. And honestly, who knows if it would have been as legendary if they had stuck to the original ticketing plan. Sometimes, a little chaos can lead to something amazing. Speaking of chaos, the roads leading to the festival were completely jammed. People were abandoning their cars and walking for miles just to get there. Some even started having their own mini Woodstock parties in the traffic jams. Finally, on August 15, 1969, at around 5 p.m., with the sun starting to set and hundreds of thousands of people gathered in that field, the magic began. Woodstock was officially underway. While Woodstock 69 is remembered as a moment of unity and joy, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The sheer number of people who showed up created some serious challenges, especially when it came to basic necessities. Imagine 500,000 people in a field with limited toilets, food, and water. Not exactly a recipe for comfort, right? Sadly, this wasn't just a one-time problem. Fast forward to 1999, and a new generation tried to recreate the magic of Woodstock with a festival in Rome, New York. But instead of peace and love, Woodstock 99 was marred by chaos, violence, and a whole lot of bad vibes. The scorching summer heat only made things worse. The festival was poorly organized, with reports of overpriced food and water, overflowing toilets, and a general lack of concern for the well-being of the attendees. Tensions boiled over, leading to fights, fires, and even allegations of sexual assault. The media quickly labeled Woodstock 99 a disaster. Rolling Stone magazine even called it a nightmare. The organizers were hit with lawsuits, and the reputation of Woodstock took a major hit. Many people thought that after the debacle of '99, the Woodstock dream was dead. Woodstock 69 and its highs and lows. While Woodstock is often romanticized as a utopian gathering, it's important to remember that it wasn't without its share of problems. Tragedy struck when 2 young lives were lost, one to a drug overdose and another in a heartbreaking accident involving a tractor. It's a reminder that even in a place filled with good intentions, things can go wrong. There was a medical tent set up with volunteer doctors and nurses, and thankfully, most of the medical issues were relatively minor. Upset stomachs, blisters from going barefoot, and general exhaustion from all the excitement. However, there were also reports of 8 women experiencing miscarriages during the festival, a stark reminder of the challenges of providing adequate medical care in such a massive, uncontrolled environment. And speaking of control, can you imagine trying to maintain order with 500,000 people and only a dozen or so police officers? That's exactly what the organizers faced. It's a testament to the generally peaceful nature of the crowd that things didn't spiral further out of control. But there were also some bright spots in the midst of the challenges. The organizers brought in the Hog Farm, a famous hippie commune, to help out. They created a playground for kids who came with their parents, ran a free kitchen to feed the hungry masses, and even set up a special area for people who had overdosed on drugs. And you know what? The hippies, who often faced prejudice and misunderstanding, really stepped up. Even the police were impressed. The police chief of Monticello, a town near the festival, said that despite their unconventional appearance and beliefs, the hippies were the most courageous, compassionate, and well-behaved young people he'd ever encountered in his 24 years on the force. Another officer shared a story about how hippies helped push their police car out of a traffic jam. It was a moment of connection and cooperation that challenged the stereotypes people had about the counterculture movement. Many people believe that the peaceful atmosphere at Woodstock was partly due to the widespread use of hallucinogenic drugs and the anti-war sentiment of the time. People were looking for peace and love, not conflict. However, it's important to note that not everyone saw Woodstock in a positive light. The media, in particular, often portrayed the festival as a chaotic and dangerous event filled with drug use and debauchery. Not everyone was thrilled with Woodstock. The New York Times, for example, called it a shocking affair and questioned what kind of culture could lead to such terrible chaos. The media often focused on the negative aspects of the festival, like the drug use and the lack of sanitation. But despite the criticism and controversy, Woodstock '69 ultimately became a powerful symbol of peace. Remember, this was a time of intense social and political turmoil in America. The Vietnam War was raging, political assassinations had rocked the nation, and young people were disillusioned with the establishment. Woodstock provided a space for them to come together, to connect through music, and to express their opposition to violence and war. Dr. William Abruzzi, the festival's chief medical officer, said it best. "They were truly beautiful people. There was no violence at all, regardless of what happened, which is quite remarkable for such a large crowd." What's your favorite Woodstock performance, and why? Woodstock: chaos, mishaps, and unexpected moments. While Woodstock is often remembered as a utopian gathering, it's important to acknowledge the less glamorous side of the story. Amidst the peace, love, and music, there were some serious logistical challenges and unfortunate incidents that added a layer of chaos to the experience. Traffic troubles. Let's start with the traffic. Imagine hundreds of thousands of people all trying to reach the same remote farm in upstate New York. It was a recipe for gridlock. Days before the festival officially started, the roads were already jammed. Many people ended up abandoning their cars and walking for miles just to get there. Nudity and drugs. Woodstock was a celebration of freedom and self-expression, and for some, that meant shedding their clothes and embracing the natural state. Skinny dipping in the nearby pond became a popular pastime. The media, however, sensationalized the nudity and the widespread recreational drug use, fueling concerns about the counterculture movement and reinforcing negative stereotypes about the younger generation. Rainy days and muddy nights. Mother Nature decided to throw in her own twist, unleashing torrential downpours that turned the entire festival grounds into a giant mud pit. Performers had to battle the elements, and the rain caused delays in the schedule. But the Woodstock spirit prevailed, and the attendees embraced the mud, turning it into a badge of honor. Tragedy and triumph. On a more positive note, 2 babies were also born amidst the chaos, a testament to the resilience of life. Considering the sheer number of people present, the number of serious incidents was relatively low, but the lack of sufficient facilities, especially toilets, was a major issue. With only 600 toilets for over 400,000 people, sanitation became a real challenge. The Great Escape. Leaving Woodstock was no easy feat either. The highway was clogged with departing vehicles, creating another massive traffic jam. It was a slow and arduous journey back to reality for many attendees. The aftermath. Despite the message of peace and harmony, Woodstock left behind a significant environmental mess. The grounds were covered in trash, a stark reminder of the impact of such a large gathering. The cleanup effort was extensive, and the local community was understandably less than thrilled. Max Yasgur ultimately decided not to host another festival on his farm, and the town even passed a law to prevent future events of this scale. The bright side, a cultural watershed. Woodstock was much more than just a music festival. It was a cultural earthquake that shook the foundations of American society. It marked a turning point in how rock music was perceived and how young people expressed their ideals. For 3 glorious days, Woodstock became a microcosm of a generation yearning for change, a place where music and social consciousness intertwined to create a defining moment in history. Media's shifting perspective. Initially, the media portrayed Woodstock as a chaotic mess, focusing on the logistical challenges and the perceived debauchery. But a new breed of journalists and editors sensed something deeper was happening. They saw a generation rejecting the norms of the past and embracing a new way of life. Their stories began to reflect this shift, capturing the spirit of unity and the profound cultural transformation that was taking place. Yoga finds a home in the West. Woodstock also played a pivotal role in introducing Eastern philosophies and practices to the West. Swami Satchidananda, a renowned spiritual teacher, conducted the opening ceremony, introducing the concept of yoga and meditation to a generation eager for new ways of thinking and being. His presence was a profound moment, setting the tone for a festival that embraced peace, mindfulness, and a connection to something larger than oneself. Woodstock's message of resilience. Faced with a shortage of facilities, the Woodstock attendees displayed incredible ingenuity and resourcefulness. They built makeshift shelters, created impromptu food stalls, and embraced the challenges with a spirit of independence and camaraderie. Spreading the word. While some newspapers painted a bleak picture of Woodstock, television news recognized the significance of the event. The extensive media coverage helped spread Woodstock's message far and wide, capturing the spirit of a cultural revolution that resonated deeply with young people across America. Capturing the magic on film. Recognizing the historical importance of Woodstock, organizer Artie Kornfeld secured a deal with Warner Brothers Studios to film the festival. A young Martin Scorsese was brought on board as one of the editors, and his team captured 120 miles of footage. The resulting documentary became a cinematic masterpiece, winning an Academy Award and further solidifying Woodstock's place in cultural history. Sadly, Scorsese and his team didn't receive the financial rewards they deserved for their groundbreaking work. Please comment 1 to let me know you'll be watching this video until the end. Woodstock, through Baron Wolman's lens. Baron Wolman, Rolling Stone magazine's first chief photographer. His photographs, unveiled after 45 years, offer a unique and intimate glimpse into the heart and soul of Woodstock. Let's now explore some of Wolman's specific photographs and the stories they tell about this iconic event. Fences and freedom. Baron Wolman's photograph of the Woodstock fences tells a compelling story about the festival's unexpected turn of events. Those fences, initially intended to contain a crowd of 50,000, became a symbol of both the organizers' underestimation and the attendees' overwhelming desire to be part of something bigger than themselves. Baron Wolman's roadside photograph captures a heartwarming moment of connection between the Woodstock attendees and the local community. It's a snapshot of a time when genuine human interaction and shared experience were valued above all else. Dancing without smiles. This particular photograph from Baron Wolman's collection offers a more nuanced perspective on the Woodstock experience. While it captures the energy and movement of the crowd, it also reveals a hint of unease and perhaps even disillusionment. This particular photograph captures a moment of peaceful coexistence between the festival goers and the local farm animals. It's a quirky and unexpected scene, a reminder that Woodstock took place in a rural setting, far removed from the urban landscape where most of the attendees came from. Milking cows amidst the chaos. This photograph, capturing farmers milking cows in the heart of the Woodstock Festival, is a powerful testament to the resilience and adaptability of the local community. It's a scene that juxtaposes the ordinary with the extraordinary, the mundane. Military helicopters, a symbol of unity. Baron Wolman's photograph of military helicopters arriving at Woodstock captures a powerful and unexpected moment of unity amidst a time of social and political division. These helicopters, typically associated with the Vietnam War and the very establishment that the counterculture movement was challenging, became a symbol of cooperation and shared humanity. The man with the suitcase. The image depicts a lone figure navigating the sea of people and activity at Woodstock. He's dressed in ordinary clothes, a stark contrast to the free-spirited attire of most attendees. But it's the suitcase he carries that truly captures our attention. The photograph captures Santana in a moment of intense focus, his face etched with concentration as he navigates the psychedelic landscape of his performance. Woolman admits that at the time, he didn't fully grasp the historical significance of what he was witnessing. He was simply immersed in the experience, driven by a desire to capture the energy and emotion of Woodstock through his lens. Baron Woolman's photograph, aptly titled 300,000 Strong, is a breathtaking visual representation of the sheer scale and impact of Woodstock. It's an image that captures not just the physical size of the crowd, but also the collective energy and spirit that made the festival such a defining moment in history. Baron Woolman's photograph of the communal swim at Woodstock is a beautiful and evocative representation of the festival's spirit of freedom and connection. This photograph of a festival-goer strumming his guitar between sets at Woodstock offers a glimpse into the vibrant and participatory nature of the event. It reveals that Woodstock was more than just a passive experience of listening to music. It was a platform for creative expression and shared artistry. Love for all, including animals. This photograph of a sign advocating for animal rights at Woodstock highlights the festival's expansive message of love and compassion. It demonstrates that the values espoused at Woodstock extended beyond human interactions and encompassed a concern for all living beings. Baron Woolman's photograph of a couple embracing at Woodstock beautifully encapsulates the festival's atmosphere of love, intimacy, and connection. It's a tender moment captured amidst the chaos and energy of the event, a reminder that Woodstock was more than just music. It was a celebration of human connection in all its forms. Resting wherever you can. This photograph of festival-goers taking a break on parked cars at Woodstock perfectly captures the resourceful and adaptable spirit of the attendees. It's a reminder that amidst the non-stop music, the crowds, and the general excitement, finding moments of rest and rejuvenation was essential. Crowd surfing and scaling the sound tower. This photograph, capturing the exhilarating moments of crowd surfing and sound tower scaling at Woodstock, perfectly encapsulates the festival's wild and joyous spirit. It's a visual testament to the uninhibited energy and enthusiasm that permeated the event. Finding solitude in the crowd. While Woodstock is often remembered for its massive crowds and communal spirit, Baron Woolman's photographs also reveal moments of quiet introspection and solitude. This image of a lone individual amidst the throngs of people captures the introspective side of the festival, reminding us that even within a massive gathering, individuals could find their own unique connection to the experience. Bill Graham's backstage retreat. This photograph of Bill Graham, the legendary rock promoter, taking a break backstage at Woodstock, offers a glimpse into the contrasting realities of the festival. While the attendees were braving the mud, the crowds, and the unpredictable weather, the backstage area provided a relative haven of calm and order. This photograph of Woodstock attendees cooling off at public taps captures a moment of simple joy and relief amidst the challenging conditions of the festival. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos and discomfort, people found ways to find comfort and connection through shared experiences. Grace Slick, an icon of the era. Grace Slick's presence at Woodstock cemented her status as a true icon of the 1960s counterculture movement. As the lead singer of Jefferson Airplane, she brought a powerful voice, a rebellious spirit, and an undeniable stage presence to the festival, captivating the massive crowd and solidifying her place in music history. Jimi Hendrix, an iconic performance. Baron Woolman's photograph of Jimi Hendrix performing the Star-Spangled Banner at Woodstock is an iconic image that encapsulates the raw energy and musical brilliance of one of the festival's most memorable performances. George Harrison, finding peace amidst the chaos. Baron Woolman's photograph of George Harrison at Woodstock offers a unique and intimate glimpse into the quieter moments of the festival. It captures a moment of peace and introspection amidst the whirlwind of activity, reminding us that even within a massive gathering, individuals could find their own space for contemplation and relaxation. Mick Jagger, a glimpse of the songwriting process. This candid photograph of Mick Jagger, taken at the Oakland Coliseum Arena in 1969, offers a fascinating glimpse into the creative process of one of rock's most iconic figures, Janis Joplin, taken by surprise. This candid photograph of Janis Joplin captures a moment of surprise and perhaps even a touch of awe as she grapples with the sheer magnitude of Woodstock. It's a reminder that even seasoned performers like Joplin could be overwhelmed by the scale and energy of this unprecedented event. Baron Wolman's photos capture both the highs and lows of Woodstock. Which photo resonated with you the most, and why? Entering legend. Woodstock 69 wasn't just about the big names. It was a platform for 32 professional acts, and even gave regular folks a chance to share their talents on stage. The festival kicked off with Richie Havens, a singer-songwriter whose soulful voice and iconic wooden guitar captivated the crowd. His songs about freedom and peace resonated deeply with the spirit of Woodstock. The lineup was a mix of established stars and rising talent. Sweetwater, Burt Summer, Tim Hardin, Ravi Shankar, Melanie and Arlo Guthrie all graced the stage, each contributing their unique sound to the Woodstock tapestry. And then there was Joan Baez, the legendary folk and country singer. Even though she was 6 months pregnant, she closed out the second day of the festival with a powerful performance. Imagine that, belting out songs in the pouring rain, surrounded by a sea of muddy, ecstatic faces. One attendee, nicknamed Speed, captured the essence of the experience perfectly in an interview with the New York Times. He said, "Everything was wonderful. I felt it all. The smell of the mud, the rain and wind, the music, and even the inconveniences. It was a moment in time that etched itself into the memories of everyone who was there." For many of the artists who played at Woodstock, it was a launching pad to superstardom. Their careers skyrocketed after their performances on that iconic stage. But there were also those who declined the invitation and lived to regret it, missing out on a chance to be part of music history. The truth is, there's never been another music festival quite like Woodstock 69. It was a unique moment in time, a convergence of music, culture, and social change that captured the spirit of an entire generation. And for Max Yasgur, the dairy farmer who generously offered his land for the festival, it was an experience he could never have imagined. His 600-acre farm in Bethel, New York, became the unlikely stage for one of the most significant cultural events of the 20th century. For the 4 young organizers, the quartet who dreamed up Woodstock, it felt like the magic would never end. But as the last notes faded and the crowds dispersed, they knew they had created something truly special, a memory that would live on for decades to come. Living on through music. It's easy to forget that Woodstock 69 wouldn't have happened without the kindness and generosity of Max Yasgur and his wife. They took a chance on a bunch of young people with a crazy dream, and in doing so, they became part of history. Max Yasgur was deeply moved by what he witnessed on his farm that weekend. On the final day of the festival, he addressed the crowd, saying, "You have shown the world something. 500,000 young people gathered here for 3 days of joy, nothing but music." His words captured the essence of Woodstock, a celebration of peace, love, and the power of music. The Bethelwood Center for the Arts, which opened in 2006, preserves the spirit of the festival. You can stand on the grounds where the stage once stood, look out over the rolling hills, and imagine the magic that unfolded there. For most of us, Woodstock 69 is a legend, a story we hear about in books and documentaries. We can't fully grasp what it must have been like to be there, to experience the energy and excitement firsthand. But for the hundreds of thousands who were part of that generation, Woodstock was more than just a concert. It was a defining moment in their lives, a shared experience that shaped their values and beliefs. It was a moment captured in iconic photographs, images that transport us back to that muddy field and remind us of the power of music to unite and inspire. Even though we can't physically relive Woodstock, its spirit lives on. It continues to inspire artists, musicians, and dreamers around the world. It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, we can choose peace, love, and music. And that's a